Yes, sir. Thank you. Good morning to one and all gathering here. It's my immense pleasure to welcome all of this great session of IIC Triple E. My first bunch of thanks goes to behalf of management and the beloved principal has helped us create this great opportunity of IIC. Next, I welcome our honorable chief guest as a resource person, Mr. Prabharan Ganeshan. He is founder and former director of Embedded Solution Hash Sharp, software architect specialist, Caterpillar, Chennai. He is wonderful person to deliver his speech to us at the moment of this great session. Once again, I welcome you all. Thank you.
Yep. Yeah, Prashant. Can you hear me? Yep. Thanks. Let me quickly share my screen. I just want to start with the presentation and we'll go with that. S- So let me know once you started seeing my screen. Okay. So good morning, one and all present here. So thanks for the opportunity to talk about this topic, lean startup and minimum viable product. Uh, Thanks for your participant in the morning session. Like, I mean, nowadays you guys would be used to be with the online training class and all those things, right? So you don't consider this a normal session, and don't be a passive participant. So try to be a active. So if you needed any information or any clarification in intermediate to any topic, right? Please stop by so I can answer all those questions, or else we can take it in the last session. So there is a separate session for question and answer. Probably we can cover in that as well. Okay. So guys, I request you, like, if no one wants to, I mean, someone wants to present, I mean, talk right that time, you can unmute. Otherwise, please mute yourself so that everyone can hear perfectly on the real content. Okay. So thanks. So so today we, as I said, like today we are going to cover the lean startup and minimum viable product. Okay. So so when people are okay, so before that, I just want to present agenda. So today we're gonna talk about, like, I have like a pretty much packed agenda. So we're gonna just have an introduction, like job or business, because most people will have a question on that, right? So once you finishing your academic, right, you will have a career path, right? So you will decide whether you need to go to job or business, right? So that there you need to take I mean, a very bold call. So that will help you further to growth in your career. Okay, so we will just touch base on that. Then followed by, we can go with the lean startup and minimum viable product. Then we can go with the summary and Q&A session. Okay. So, so what next? Job or business? Okay. So most people will have these questions, right? But most of us, right? So we used to choose a job. So whenever we are starting our schoolings, right? So from that time onwards, right? So our parent or the, I mean, well wishers are the people who surrounded us, right? So everyone would say, like, I mean, you have to study well, then you have to go to a better job or a permanent job, or once you get a job, your life will settle. So all those kind of things you used to hear everywhere, right? But while you're talking about business, right, there is very minimal people you used to discuss on the business. Okay, that's how our community, or that's how our culture is being for more than like I would say, like more than 5 decades maybe. But before that, they were had a good principle in the business and all those things. So once the culture is being changed and all those things happened, right? So people were more into a job mode, and but recently I can see, like, for the past 5 to 10 years, so people are again go back to the business mode. Okay, so that's how I'm seeing it. Okay, so whenever you want to once you done with your career, right? So the time you're starting to select job or business, right? First, you have to think through. Okay, for example, like many people would think like, whether I am able to do a business or not, and all those things, right? But as per general philosophy or the proven thing, right? So everyone has the capability to a business as they can do a job. Okay, so for example, like if you are doing a job, right? So the job is nothing but a part of a particular business. So you're already participating in a business indirectly in the name of job. Okay, so if you want to start a business, right? So idea is everywhere, right? So ideate, so keep ideate. So based on ideating, right? So you will get a proper key idea. So from there you need to dig through further to understand your idea, or develop your idea to a concept, so like that you can convert your idea to a business kind of thing. Okay, so first you need to decide whether we need to go to job or business. So in my stake, right, so I would say when compare with both and job or business, right? So business would be the uh, proper path for a tremendous growth. Okay, if you go to job, right? So for example, like you're getting a job with a starting package like some X amount. Okay, so you will think like, okay, so this amount is good. So see, I got a job, so this amount is fine for me. But once you started going your job, right? So your commitment will keep increase, right? Then your burdens also keep increase. So the growth, the job growth will be kind of a systematic, I would say. It's not exponential growth, but in business you will get a exponential growth. So that is a major difference between job or business. So whenever you keep updating or upgrading yourself, you'll get a promotions, you'll get a job, salary hike, all those things will be there. But keep other side, you have to keep in mind that your commitment also will keep increase. Okay, so the time when you start your career, right? So after 20 years or 30 years, right, if you see the level of your living or all those things, right, may be slightly changed when compared to your starting period with the 20 years old and all those things, right? But that there won't be tremendous difference between your start point to your current point. If you turn back your pages, your life pages, right, everywhere it's talked about your company wherever you worked, and also nowhere it's written something on you, about you and all those things. Okay, so I would prefer all the youngsters or who is right now coming out of colleges, right? So please at least think through. Okay, so okay, why don't we do a business? Okay, so like that you have to take a call. And this is a pandemic situation, and you guys are past 1.5 year, right? You can see, so there were that much economic is grown, and after wave one, right? So there were some potential. We have seen that economic started growth, but again due to the wave two, right, again it's kind of it's not in stable state, I would say. Okay, so now searching job or getting job would be the challenge, I would say. Otherwise, other side, there is a tremendous opportunity for business, because after this COVID, right, it's proven many stuff. Okay, so previously people used to have a mind process or thought process that they used to go to office and they have to do a work, right? But right now everyone or most of them are doing business from, work from home concept, right? So if that case, right, there is a many savings in the operational cost and all those things, right? So if you think through, you can start a business, right? You don't need to have a good premises and all those things, right? So you can definitely reduce more operational cost and try take a risk. And if you've succeeded, then obviously you will be go to great heights. If you failure, you will learn something, then you can deploy that learning stuff, or the lesson learned out of the failure, right? Then definitely you will success one day. Okay, so there is a one quote I used to see, or I used to impress from Steve Jobs, is like, your time is limited, so don't waste just living someone else's life, right? So if you're doing a job, right, so you are running for someone else's dream, you're not running for your dream. So obviously you're getting money and giving up your dream, right? So don't do that. At least explore something on the business. What is a viable solution, or what we can do, and all those things you can think through. Okay, so going forward, like I just want to talk about the lean startup. Okay, so whenever we are having a thought process, like we can, people used to call it a startup company, right? So what is startup company? Okay, so you have a product and you want to sell it out, or you have a solution you want to sell it out, or you have a problem statement, so you need to need to address it, right? So for that, you can start your startup. Okay. So whenever people starting a startup, right, the initial thought process will come to our mind, right? Investment. So how can I get an investment? Okay. So I mean, you can I can tell you many examples to you. Okay. Without investment, investment in the sense I'm talking about money investment. Okay. So you have to definitely invest your time. So that is for sure. That is a major investment than money. Okay. So if you are investing more time before you're starting your business, then your money investment would be lesser. If you're investing less time period, right, then you have to do a more money investment. Okay, so you have to decide. So if you have enough money to do stuff, then you can do a plan perfect, then you can go with that. But most of the people, right, like us, right, so we are coming from like a economic I mean, not in that much good economic background, right? So it doesn't mean that only good wealth and good economic people only can start business. Even anyone have idea, right, they can start a business. Okay, so the concept called lean startup came into picture in the 90s range. So Andrew is the guy who designed this lean startup, and he after that uh, after that many people impressed, and they explore further, and they have given a many beautiful I mean, beautiful way to do this lean startup planning and all those things. Okay, so today we have very short time to discuss, and as I said, like I mean, this business or startup and all those things, it's a very bigger topic. Okay, we cannot cover all those stuff in a one meeting. Okay, so I just want to stick into the title or the I mean the topic which is provided to me. But if you guys needed further input or further thing, right, maybe you can approach your management to have a further session, so that we can we'll directly go to the lean startup. Okay, before that I want to just give you some heads up. Maybe I can give it those input during last session, I mean last minute of the session as well. That should be fine. But you just keep in mind that uh, startup can be anything. You just need an idea, then you need to have a plan. So once you combine your idea and plan, right, you can go with the product, and you can do that. Okay, so general startup company, right, so what they will do is they will have a product. Okay, or they will have an idea. So what they will do is they will spend their whole time and money to develop a product fully, then they will launch into the customer. Okay, so once it's launched to the customer, right, so there is a 50-50 probability whether your product gets success, or your idea gets success, or your idea gets failure. Okay, so it's a 50-50 probability, right? So if you're sitting in the other side, that means failure side, right, then the lot of effort that you're being put, right, on the time was, money was, everything gone, then you'll be fed up, and all those things will happen. Okay, so there is a recent statistics tell that in India, if people are nowadays, as I said, like most people are inclined towards starting startup and all those things. That's really appreciable. Okay, but thing is, 90% of the startups will get failure, or will get closed, or people will get filled out within first 5 years of time. Okay, so the basic rule, or the first rule in the business, right, you should not expect immediate result. Okay, you need to wait for long. That means you have to keep grow your business to extend. So till that extent, you have to feed your business. Then when it's grown up, right, then it will feed you. Okay, so you should not expect the initial days are immediately I need something from my business, right? So if you have that mindset, then it won't work out for you. Okay, because you should not directly compare job with business, right? If you get a job the first day you will join, and 30th day you will get a salary, so that is different. Okay, but in business, right, you have to, there would be a waiting period. You have to wait, you have to keep invest your time and money. I would say more time, less money. Then keep ideate so that your business will grow. So after a period of time, right, then it will feed back to you. So you have to wait. But most of the people are not in that mindset, and most people will getting filled out because of this issue. Okay, they won't do proper planning, or they will invest their a lot of time and money. For example, like I'm starting a startup today, right? So I'm just investing my 9 months of time, for example. Okay, so next 3 months I'm spending like for marketing strategy and all those things, right? So 12 month I have invested, and 12 months, right, so I didn't go to job, so I just indirectly invested the money I'm going to earn, right? So I'm just indirectly investing that as well. Other than that, the people who are working and the facility and all those things, right, everything will be a cost factor, right? So after 1 year I'm going to launch my product. Okay, but that time I just came to know the whatever product being released from me, right? So that is not up to the mark, or the customer is not like with the idea, our customer is not interested, and there is no scalable uh, possibilities in that business, all those will happen, right? Then end of the day, I lost, right? So all the 1 year effort gone and money gone, everything will gone, right? Then if someone come and say or ask me, hey, I just want to say, I mean, start a startup, right? Then I will keep do a bad mouthing that may don't start startup, and these are things happen to me. So all failure stories the people will talk, right? So don't do that, and don't get I mean I mean, you can always get a assistant from the people, but don't get assistant from the people who are bad mouth about all those things. Okay, try to hear more positive note before you start your business. There is a many inspiration people around the world. Maybe you can have see many inspiration people around you as well. Okay, starting from the small I mean, small grocery shops near to your village, or near to your, I mean, home, right? You just think through. So when how they have started, so how many years it's been, and where they are today. So like that, you can do a small study, then you can easily understand. Okay, so please have a positive attitude before do a start. I mean, do start a startup. Okay, so as come back to our topic, lean startup, right? So as I said, like you don't need to wait till 12 months of time. So what lean startup says, initially in the general startup scenario, the customer will come into picture after developed a product. Okay, but in a lean startup, in a one liner, customer will be part of the product development. How? Okay, so today you are creating one product. Okay, so you have a core logic. On top of it, you have some sophisticated logics, and so top of it, you're going to have a good to have features and nice to have feature and all those things and blah blah things. Everything would be there. Okay, don't do everything at one shot and deliver your product. Okay, first you do a core content, then give it to your near one and dear ones, get their feedback, ask them to use it at free of cost. Then people will come forward and they will use it, and they will give you a feedback. Hey, this one I have seen, so this one is having some issue, or this one it's not that much up to the mark, or this is not practically possible, and it's taking my time, it's not user friendly, or all blah 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 blah. Feedback would be coming to you, right? So take that feedback, again ideate, address that issue, deliver again give it to those people. Okay, or next journal of people. So like that, you have to keep include your customer, right? Then one part of time you would know whether that idea or a concept, whatever you have taking, right, whether it's a worth or not, whether it will work or not. Okay, if you're thinking a particular time it won't work out, just leave it and go to next product or next idea. That's all. Okay, so there will be lesser amount of failure will happen, since you're already included your customer in initial phase, so they will use to provide feedback, uh, zero cost feedback, right? So if you have a product, right, you have to have a testing team, you can ask them to do a testing, and you have to invest some amount for testing, validation, all those things, right? So these are the people who can replace those testers role, and they can perform at zero cost. That means they will do analyze, they will do, and because the people general mindset, right, they will keep trying to identify whatever is missing in thing, right? So they won't satisfy, the human won't satisfy with the things whatever being provided, so they will keep ask, hey, this won't work out, or this, these are the things are not viable in the practical fashion, all those things, right? So take all those input, do process it, whether you want to import it, or whether you want to ignore it, or whether you want to take it at the phase two. So all those things you can try yourself, or think yourself, and you can do with that. Okay, so to continue with that, I just want to share you one plan. Like there is a lean startup canvas is the plan. So as I said, like the Andrew is a guy who developed that. So I just want to present how you want to check. I mean, I want how you want to design that before you start a company. So do that business model. Then we can see one example, like I mean, real time example. We can take one company and how they have done in initial and all those things we can see. Okay. So far, any questions? Okay. Thanks. So, so this many stuff, this one pager would talk about many stuff. It's having many information. Okay. So how to fill in a lean canvas? So that means a lean business. So this is a canvas model. Okay. So there is a different concepts or different imperatives over here. So you need to fill all those things. Okay. This one pager would enough to do your lean startup plan. Okay. Whether it will work out or not, or what are things needed. So everything will be coming to this one pager. Okay. So you can see customer segments, problem, solution, your UVP, and unfair advantage channels, and revenue strings, cost structure. So these are the main imperatives. Okay, but there would be order. You need to fill based on some order. Okay, so this is the order. Okay, so first you need to choose your customer segment. Okay, so who would be your customer? Okay, so for any product you're going to develop, or any business you're going to start, right, first you need to know who is your customer. Okay, so based on the customer you can identify your problem. Okay, so what is the problem statement that today have? Okay, and what is your that means the problem in the sense, like, so everywhere there will be multiple problems, so you have to list your problem, and you need to choose the top three problems. Okay, so you know the customer, who are the customers. That means in other words, like the early adopters in the lean model, as I said, like customers also part of your product development, so they would be the early adopters. So you have to go with your problem statement. That means you list out all the problems that the customer facing today, and you can pick top three problems. Okay, then you need to write existing alternatives. Okay, for example, like today, yeah, customer is there, problem is there, and also solutions also there. Okay, so who is your existing alternatives or your competitor? Okay, you need to write those things. Okay, then you have to provide your solution. Okay, so these are three problems, and these are the competitors, but they are not exactly addressing these three problems. So I'm going to provide a solution which can address these three problems that I'm going to test with this customer. Okay, this one, two will give you a one, two, and four, right? So this will give you a proper starting phase for your uh, product or a business. Okay, and before four, right, the revenue streams. Okay, so you may address the revenue streams as well. Like, I mean, how you going to get a revenue from out of it? The problem you're going to solve, right? So once you're solving the problem, right, so you're going to, that means the way you're going to solve the problem is you're going to provide a solution. Okay, and you know the existing alternatives, right? So you know the cost factor, whatever they would charge and all those things, right? So how you gonna generate a revenue out of it, right? So that you have to keep that as well in your plan. Okay, then the fifth one is a, okay, solution, right? So everyone can provide a solution. I can provide a solution, you can provide a solution, anyone can provide a solution. But what is a UVP, unique value proposition in your solution? Okay, so there should be a single UVP you should have in your product solution. Hey, this is the one that is totally different from the other alternatives. That is the reason you have to come to me or come to have this product or use this product and all those things, right? So you need to have a UVP over there. Okay, then channels, how you gonna market your channel, or who would be the marketers, or which are the channels you're going to populate this product? For example, like you're gonna have a small grocery shop in your in your locality, for example. Okay, so who would be your channels, right? So the initial customers, right, so they will come to your place and they will get the grocery from you, and based on the quality and all those things, right, they will go back and they will do a word of mouth marketing, right? So word of mouth marketing, they will keep tell to people, hey, I went to this shops, it's very good, all those things, right? So the word of mouth marketing would be one particular channel for the particular business. As I said, like the grocery shops, like that. What is your product or what's your business idea? You need to see which are the channels. So you need to concentrate on the channels. Okay, then once you concentrate on the channel, then key metrics. Okay, the key metrics in the sense of, so any business, right, you have to have some measures. So whatever you're doing today, so you're planning and you are filling all those things, right, there should be some metrics to measure whether you are up to the mark, or whether whatever you're doing today, right, whether you are doing in a right way, or whether you're getting the feedback whatever you expected, right? You have to see that, right? So you have to do a key metrics. That means you have to come with some measure. That means, like, first year I have to have 1,000 customers, so maybe, so that would be one key metrics. Okay, then based on that, while your business started and it's going through, right, so first 3 months, right, if it's a 1 year it's 1,000 customer, then for first 3 months, that means the first quarter you should have 250 customers, right? So but you have only 25 customers. Okay, that means 10 times you're lagging. So you need to think through, okay, so why I'm lagging? in the first quarter I cannot achieve 250. That means the whichever is left over, the 225 customers will be addition to into the quarter three or split it into the another 3 quarters, right? So how I'm going to increase it? So without key metric, you cannot evaluate yourself or evaluate your business. So key metrics is very very important. With that only you can get an idea how your business grows. Okay, because sometimes you would see, right, there would be a positive curve. Maybe your uh, thinking or intuition says like it's a positive curve, but somewhere, right, the scientific measures and the calculation would say a real value, right? For example, like nowadays I mean, everyone aware like the COVID-19, right, prediction curve, right? So people are telling like within May mid or June mid, right? So these are the count would be there and all those things. So those and all, it's a science factor which is gives, right? So many times or most of the times it will be clearly matched with the real time scenario. So you have to have a key metrics in your project, and you have to have a proper measure to measure your business or your lean startup. Okay, then only you can keep addressing or keep adding or keep upgrading. Okay, the next topic would be the cost structure. Okay, I'm starting a lean startup, right? So what I want to have, okay, so first I need to register my company. So everything need money, right? So you need to register a company. There should be some amount you need to pay to a government. So if it's a private limited proprietorship or a partnership and all those six blah blah things, right? Even if you want to get a PAN card for your company, right, you need to invest some money. So you need to have a cost structure. You need to structure every cost. You should not miss any cost. Starting from 1 rupee to 1,000 rupees or 1 lakh, whichever amount you're going to spend, you have to have a cost structure for it. Okay, what I'm gonna do. So what are the things I need to do? Okay, so there should be two things. So one is a fixed cost and variable cost kind of thing, right? So fixed cost would be the capital. For example, like if you're gonna own a premises, if you're gonna develop some product, right? So you cannot do it virtually, right? For some extent, right? But if you're gonna do some website development company or some mobile app development company, things like that, right? The digitalization that is not required any uh, physical premises, but database or server or cloud and all those things, right? Again, that's a kind of a fixed investment, okay, that you have to do. Then variable cost would be your running cost. That means in the every month, right, how much you are investing and how much you are need to spend to your running your business in a healthy way. So that would be under a variable cost. Okay, so you have to have your cost structure perfectly, then only you can run your business in proper way. Otherwise, once you start running your business, right, if you're not having things in place, right, then you cannot concentrate in everywhere. Because in startup and all, right, we have to concentrate on multiple people and multiple tasking we have to do. In a grown company or corporate and all those things, there would be finance department, there would be accounts department, there would be a HR, there would be a engineering team and marketing and supply chain. Everything would be a different department, different head would be there, and different people would be there, and every people will be working towards or working together to have a company run in every day. But in startup, right, you have to do everything. Okay, if you're not having things in place, right, then you will screw up. Okay, screw up your company and screw up yourself and screw up your dependent, who are dependent on you, right? So please keep in mind what is the cost structure I need, and what are the things I need to cover. So everything you need to have it in a paper. So that's a cost structure. Okay, the ninth and the least one, right? So that is an unfair advantage. So what is unfair advantage, right? So I'm doing a product. Okay, so how I'm going to differentiate, right? So in unique value proposition, I have said, right, in the fifth step, unique value proposition, I have said, right, you have to differentiate your product from another people. But the same way, you should protect your ideology. That should not be copycat by your existing alternative. For example, like you are proposing UVP. Okay, that can be immediately copycat by your existing alternative, right? Then they can easily get your idea, they can put it on top of their existing company, and they can throw you out, right? So you should not do have a kind of a plan. Okay, you should have proper planning while you're creating your UVP, which should support your unfair advantage. That means it should not easily copied, or it should not immediately brought into the market. For example, like, right, so today, if one particular company introduce something, right, end of the day, after some time, right, so people, anyway people will do that, right? But there would be some breathing space, or there would be the time which will take, right? So within that time, you have to grow your business and you have to start earning, right? Then those people will be come into picture later, right, then you will be set of your audience, right, they won't go to there for sure. Okay, for example, like, right, the typical real time example, right, if some TV programs are originated from one of the TV shows, right, maybe Vijay TV or something like that, right, so it is maybe later point some other channels also will do that same thing, but they will take a time, and they will see whether the program success, how it goes and all those things, right, then they will do a copycat into their program. But end of the day, people mindset will say, hey, this is a program already came to Vijay TV, so these people are copycat and all those things, right? So those things are kind of a negative marketing again. Okay, so keep that in mind. So you have to have an idea which is not easily copied, or which is not readily available in the market, just like that. Go and pay some amount and bought it and all those things. Clear? So if you structurally put all those points in this way, right, then you can definitely success your lean startup, right? So as I said, right, if you do this clearly, and if you review with already doing, I mean, who is business mentor and all those things, right, and if you review it yourself and you get thought process on your dear ones, near ones, that they will give you some ideology, and they will sometimes they will give interesting ideas and out of box thinking, right? So you won't do, since you're designing your product, right, you won't do out of box thinking, right, but other people will do that, right? So keep talk with those people like near and dear ones and get that input, and you can do it, right, definitely you can win. So you will be comes under the 10% of the people who is successful in their business, rather you won't go to the 90% of the people who is getting failure in the first 5 years. Having said that, I just want to go to talk about one example about Uber or Ola. So you can replace it. So it might be Uber or Ola. Okay. So let's see one another thing. Okay, the customer segments, right? So when Uber or Ola come into picture, right? So there were a taxi service already was there, but still they came into a market. So what was their problem statement, right? So even the Ola and Uber, right? They have started with the lean startup strategy only, but now, right? So there is a 6.2 billion company, Ola. Okay, so in India itself, right, it's $6.2 billion company. Okay, it's a very very huge hit, right? So the customer segments, right, the passengers and drivers. So these are the two customer segment. That means they are getting from drivers as well. They are getting from passenger as well. That means they are getting work from drivers, and whatever they are earning, they are getting an incentive, and the passengers are keep feeding drivers and the company. So these are the two major factor are the customer for the Ola or Uber. Okay, so early adopters. Okay, so who would be the early adopters? So public transport. Who are people are using a public transport, right? They can try this service, right? And who are using a classic taxi service? They were maybe feeling some problem with that. So why don't we try with the Ola or Uber, right? So those are the two guys would be the early adopters, right? So you know one thing. So in initial time frame, while the Ola and Uber started, right, they have started or launched just website. Okay, they not even had any Android OS, I mean Android application or a iOS application, right? So they had only a minimum website, so where you can go and book your taxi. There would be only from to on a calendar, so where you can select and the time you can select. That's all, nothing else in that, right? So they were initially experimented. So they have given they launched their website, and they are initially given a trial, and based on the customer feedback they keep upgraded. Then after that many stuffs came, right? So we'll cover one another things later. Okay, then problem. So what is the problem? So the first and foremost problem is a expensive. Okay, that means like if you go and take a auto ride, so they will ask any amount which is come to their mind. For a short distance, if you go to travel 2 kilometers or 3 kilometers or 5 kilometers, whatever it is, right, the starting cost that they would ask from 80 rupees to 400 rupees, for example, right? So if 2 kilometers, right, you would think, right, hey, 80 rupees, how I can afford, right? So that is a expensive taxi service. Okay, then availability, right? So auto you can find anywhere. If you go walk into a street, you can easily find. But if you want to go with the your family with a car, right, so their availability of cabs would be very lesser. Okay, and then lack of driver profile. You don't know about your driver, right? But we used to have a habit that in our mind, right? So driver will not be that much genuine always. So they will cheat us, or they will not good soul and blah 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 things. Again, I'm not discriminating anything over here. I'm just saying as general people thought process. Okay, so these are the problem statement. Okay, so what is the solution they are trying to provide, right? So expensive taxi, so I'm going to give you cheap rider. Okay, then there is a availability of cab is lesser, okay, I'm going to give a wide car network. Okay, then know who your driver. It's a one problem statement, you cannot know under other opportunities, right? Like part time and other opportunity for the drivers, right? So these are the drivers related thing, right? Know who drive, and the part time opportunity is not there, because the driver would be the full time guy who will do a full time job, and he will be earning for his family, so his expectation will be more. So that is the reason the cost factor is driven more things, right? So why don't we give a part time, right? Who is doing a part-time job, their expectation will be lesser, but still customer will be getting benefit out of it, right? So like that, they will have a addressing, I mean, they will have a how they're performing and how they, I mean, now nowadays customer is addict to their taxi services, right? Even they are charging instead of 25 rupees in initial days, if they are charging 80 rupees today, right, again you will go to Ola and Uber only, right? Because so that is a business model, and this is a business model they had. I won't say anything wrong with their model, because they're try, I mean, still earning, and they went to 6.2 billion, right? It's a huge cost, right? So that's how they have built, right? So as I said initially, they had a single website. It has a very minimal features. So they involved a customer. So based on the customer feature, they keep increase everything, right? So on the day one they launched app, right? So that time also there were not that much feature in it, right? But nowadays you can see, right? You can see a Ola Pass, and you can see a share. You can get a share drive, and they have introduced a bike, and also they are introducing a courier service, and all those things will be there. These are keep adding or scaling up your business to a next level. Okay, so cost structures initially they start, okay, I need to develop a product, right? They create a simple website, right? It's a very minimal cost, okay, fine. And marketing expenses, so they said like, okay, on word of mouth and user referrals, right? So the user referrals is kind of a business, it's not a spend, obviously. Okay, then the salaries would be the main thing that they need to provide to the employees. Maybe the initial days they have given with the standard salaries or attractive salary. If you finish these many rides, you will give you those, right? Those are the investment. Now you go and talk with the drivers, right? They will keep bad mouth in Ola. So they are taking our blood like anything. So we are working hard, but they are not paying. But actually, they are paying the equivalent to whatever they are doing. But initial days they are given more. So that is the reason people are comparing with that, right? That's why they feel that a code thing, or people are feeling the difference. Okay. Then revenue streams, right? So initially they started 10%, if I'm not wrong, then 15%, then 25%. Now I didn't know, maybe 30% or 35%, right? Because I would see some of the Ola car holders, right, who were investing on the car and who are tied up to the Ola, right? So they are giving 20 to 25% commission to the driver itself. So that's how I used to see the advertisement. So I hope Ola also near to have the 25% to 30%, right? So you can see that, right? So likewise, you have to start stick your things, right? So customer segment, problem, then what is the revenue stream, solution, key metrics, UVP, then channels, cost structure, and unfair advantage. If you fill all those things and if you go with this flow, and you can keep changing everything, available or scope creep, everything will become your problem, and the solution also will be changing day by day, in the thought process of improving something, right? So like that. But once you're thinking, hey, this is not working out, or whatever I'm going to provide, it's not up to the mark, or customer is not interested with that, or else the existing alternative itself is satisfying my customer, I cannot do it. Okay, so let me close this, I will go with another product. Like that, you can keep move to the next thing, and whatever the failure you got from your first thing, right, you can have as a stepping stone. You can do further study analysis, and you can do a successful business end of the day. Okay, so next thing is minimum viable product. So the lean startup and minimum viable product is dependent each other, right? So it's not independent, I would say, and it will comes under a one roof, right? So if it's a startup, in the sense like all the company things and all those things would be there, and the minimum viable product, right? You can do any product, right, in your company, right? You cannot start your company for only one product, right? You can do a multiple product as well, right? So whatever product you're going to develop, you have to have a same strategy. You have to include your customer in your product development, right? So this is the MVP principle. Okay, so ideas, product, data, so these are the main thing, and these are the transition. So once you have idea, build it, have a small product, then measure in the sense you're going to take a thing from a customer point of view, how they are seeing the product, or what are the things they are telling, or what are the improvisation they are expecting, or what are the limitation they are facing. So all those things would be measured, then learn it based on the data whatever being provided by the customer, then again ideate, have a new idea, or add a idea that is having some integrated solution or a scalable solution, or all those things, then again build it, make it a product, again give it to a customer, measure, learn. So if you keep run this cycle, right, to extend, then you will hit your product, then you can go to the next way of business, that from minimum viable product versus a product. Okay, so most people would confuse between a proof of concept with the MVP. Okay, the proof of concept, right? So proof of concept is nothing but if I want to do something, right, I need to prove whether it will work or not, right? So I need to do something, right? So while I'm doing that, it will prove the particular idea, or it may uh, unprove the particular idea, right? So if it is not proven, then I can come out of it. If it's proven, then I can take it forward, right? So that is a proof of concept. But how it is different from MVP? In proof of concept, right, you won't involve your customer. Okay, so what you would do is you will do a idea whatever you have in your mind, then you will keep work on that, and you will make a proof of concept, and you can see the proof, and you can say, hey, this is a proof of concept, then I can do a product, right? But before you do that, you please do a MVP. That means you please include your customer and get an input, and based on that you can create your product so that you can see the success more. So the success rate would be tremendous when compared to the normal product development, the MVP product development. Okay, so other side, right? So some people would think like MVP model and understand in a different way, right? So that means, hey, I need to give in a different side of product, right? These are wrong way of doing MVP. That means your plan is you're planning to make a mobility vehicle which having a luxury. I mean, which should provide a luxury to the people, and which should accommodate more than one people, and all those things would be a problem, right? So what your problem statement, right? You're making first release, you're making only a tire, right? Then after that, you're making a chassis with the two tires. Then you're mounting a bare minimum body. Then you're doing, right. People cannot get any use out of it, right? In the first release, what are you going to give, right? So what they will do with this tire, right, and what they will do with empty chassis, right? They not even start on this, and not even stand on this, and all those things won't be there, right? So these are the things are failure MVP model. Then final product would be 50 probability whether they can like it or they don't like it, right? So instead of that, again, the problem statement is mobility. Okay, you're going to give a hoverboard. So this is your first release. That means it has a two wheels and a chassis. So hoverboard, you can take, hey, you can stand here, you can rub the floor, it will keep or push you towards forward. You can travel. So still they can travel from one place to another places. Though, so it's a solution, right? So you have given the solution, right? So now the customer is telling, hey, I don't have any facility to hold or something, so I'm not able to balance myself. So can you give something? Then you're taking your hoverboard to next version, you're putting a handle, and you can give it in this way. That means people hold this handle, again they have to rub the floor, then it will keep push them forward, they can go. So here there won't be any brake system, but here there will be a brake. In the handle you can put a brake, so you can stop the vehicle. So guys, you can see my mouse pointer, right? Otherwise it won't make sense. Anyone can respond, unmute yourself and
Yes,
respond.
yes, Prabhakar. Yes, Prabhakar.
Okay, thank you. So it will have a break, and still they can travel. So whatever the things they achieved in the one, right, so they can achieve on the two as well, with some luxuriness. That means some luxury or control or stability, whichever way you can put, right? But again, the customer is telling, hey, I can travel again, but don't, I mean, how long I can stand, right? I need to sit, right? Okay, so I can give you a bicycle kind of thing, right? So here you're giving a proper seat, so they can cushion seat and blah blah things, so they can sit. So instead of rubbing the floor, they have to pedaling. Okay, the another scale up you have given to your product, so they can again travel from one place to another place very faster, very comfortable. Again, when compared to this level to this level, anyway it has a more advantages. But again, customer feels, right, hey, I'm feeling pain, how long I can pedal, right? So okay, I will give you another product. Okay, or I can upgrade this with the motorized, maybe it's a electrical based or engine based, whatever thing, right? I'm giving a motorcycle, right? Hey, see, this more cushion, and it has a same way, the previous version whatever given. So still it's doing the job what I needed. I want to move from one place to another place, still it's satisfying. But I don't want to rub the floor, I don't want to pedaling. I can just giving accelerator, it's making me to move from one place to another place. But again, a customer is telling, right, hey, if it's good, if there is a I mean, I can make only one person sit in there, so can you make like a 3% or 4%? And also just want to more luxuriness and all those things, and also I want a safety and all those things. That okay, I can provide a covered chassis. It's a kind of a car, and it looks like a sports car. When you compare with this product and this product, right, you can see this difference, right? So based on the customer feel and based on the customer expectation, or what is our visualization appeal or physical appeal, what are they expected, right? You learned all those things, right? You put together everything. You are forming your final product, which has a having capability to two-seater or four-seaters. They can sit next to each other, and also some people can sit in the backside, and also it has a facility, or as a facility for loading something in the I mean in the backside, and also stand, right? So the thing is, what are we going to give, right? So day one, what are we going to give, right? That would have a core content. You have to give a mobility solution to the people. They have to move from one place to another place, right? So you have addressed your core in a first level of release itself. So people still can move from to one place to another place. But from 1 to 4, right, all other things are like kind of safety related, or expectation, or the limitation whatever they faced, or improvisation, or the timing traveled from one place to another places, or how boat doesn't have any control, but these and all have a control. But still, what are the car you provided, right? It's up to the market running, but still people expect more, right? You can scale this product to another level, multiple versions and all those things, kind of thing, right? So another typical example I can tell, right? So most of the people would aware of the MI, right? MI brand, right? So they have started giving their product, and the strategy they have used a flash sale, right? So every year or 6 months once, they used to release a product at the same cost with the previous one. For example, like today they are launching a 1 GB memory device, right? For example, like one mobile which has a 1 GB memory, right? The next time, next after 6 months, right? So they will launch a 4 GB at the same cost, then 8 GB same cost, 16 GB same cost, right? So that is a upgradation. And the thing is, they are giving it the flash sale so that most people will go and buy on the day one. They will try to do it, and they I mean, for the first 3 months they will put in the flash sale, then they will come to normal sale. So when they are saying they are seeing that sales is going down, then they will introduce a next product, right? I mean, if they decide, right, they can directly launch a 32 GB capable mobile phone, right? Why they need to start with a 4 GB phone, right? They keep earning, they keep selling, they keep marketing, they keep getting a customer experience, and they are making revenue out of it, right? So instead of they, if they are waiting to, hey, I want to have a very good product, or I mean, it should be a standalone in the markets. I want to put a 32 GB, all those things, right? If I'm going to put a R&D cost and the company running cost for the till that time and all those things, right? So definitely the 32 GB things, whatever you have given to the customer, right? Maybe spec wise it would be good, but the aesthetic and the I mean the usability, or the aspect ratio of the screen, or what the blah blah things, others things which is drives the people to use phone on more time, right? So if that is getting failure, right, then whatever they invested on the technical side, or whatever the super duper thing in the back end, right, then nothing won't talk, right? So they will get failure. But the 4 GB, whatever they get, they're going to launch it, obviously they will get a feedback, additional feedback on the other segments. Other segments in the sense, like, I mean, the same mobile phone, if it has this facility, it will be good. Can put a fingerprint, face recognition, all those things. They keep upgrading, right? So if they think they can directly launch a final product which are all facilities, right, who will buy that, right? So they keep earning and they keep growing, right? So that is a methodology on the lean startup and the minimum viable product. Okay. So as I said, like, I mean, the one session wouldn't be sufficient to do I mean, the main concept, right? I mean, I was interested to share more thought process on the startup, how to start, and how India as a potentials, or who need to approach, or where are the opportunity. There is a tremendous opportunity. Okay. But it's not familiar to every people. That is a problem. So there is no proper communication medium which is talks about all those things. That's why people are not aware of all those things. Otherwise, we can make many entrepreneurs in upcoming years without any issue. Okay. So keep you, I mean, keep you guys uh, up to date on the market trends, what are happening, and also try to read more about a business and all those things, and take more success story, read yourself and all those things, right? You will have a comfortable zone and you'll get some idea what to do, how to do, and where to do, and all those things will be getting answered based on the time you're going to spend. Okay, so summary, I just want to show some of the company, I mean, the typical example we have already seen, right? Ola and Uber, right? But I want to show some more companies who have started with this kind of model and how they have succeeded. Okay, so I just pulled only the majorly known brand over here, but it doesn't mean that only these brands are started in that way. So most of the brands or all those things are started in this way, who are started early 1990s. I mean, for everyone understanding, I'm just putting a set of or list of things only. Okay, so first one is Amazon. Okay, so I don't know how many few know about Amazon in early stages, right? So early stages they have launched just a bookstore, I would say online bookstore. That means they don't have that much books in their inventory. So what they used to do is they would give the provision or the placeholder to the people can place an order for a particular book. Once they got the order, then only they can go to the distributor. That means they will find the distributor who is giving at the less cost. Okay, then they can get the book from that distributor, then they can do a home delivery to the customer. So that was the initial business model was brought up by Amazon. Okay, so Jeff Bezos is a CEO and founder who has started that. He has started in that thought process initially. Okay, then after some time, right? So based on the success, right? So why don't we have our own inventory? So he has a I mean created more warehouses around him, and more places and more countries. It's initially started with one place, then multinational or multi states or countries, and they had then after books and they started populating some other products. So now you can see, right? So there is a million of products available in Amazon, right? So not only in Amazon store, other than Amazon, which has a more capability on a digitalizations, right? So that means AWS, a platform which is giving tough to Google, right? So Google is kind of a monopoly sometimes back with these data analytics and all those things, blah 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 things, right? But now Amazon's also compete with the AWS, a framework, Azure, and many products are available in Amazon as well, which is equally uh, giving tough competition to the Google, right? So initially they started with the book, right? But now they are into a digitalization market, and now recently Amazon Prime is a OTT platform, right? So most of the films are releasing in the Amazon. After Amazon came to the OTT platform, right? So followed by many things are coming now. Nowadays, you guys are familiar with the more OTT platforms and all those things, right? So Amazon is started with the available behind the Facebook, but still people who are using only Facebook for only the fame and all those things, right? Other than that, but more than 50 to 60% of the people are using Facebook only for business purposes today, right? So that's how he's generating, right? It's the same way Instagram, right? So initially the Instagram was developed for like a check-in app kind of thing, right? So if you want to check in, right, you can do check-in using Instagram, right? But people used to share more photographs, whatever they shooted from that particular places, and they shared with the people. Then he found like, okay, so they people are most graze on that, so why don't I convert I mean my application to it, right? So he diverted towards photo sharing app kind of thing. So people who are, wants to follow someone, right, they can follow, they can share photos and all those things are, Instagram, right? But today Instagram also bought by Facebook, and Instagram also like kind of a marketplace. That means if you own an Instagram account, if you have a bigger followers, right, so you can earn money, right? So that's how it is. It's making a business opportunity for people, and also it's growing itself, right? So, but you may think, I mean, these are the three companies, right? I mean, so globally we can think, right? But who are in India, right? So Ola, I said already, Ola and Swiggy. So you all of you know Swiggy. So Swiggy also came with the same model. So initially they started advertisement in the mobility vehicle like auto kind of thing, right? So 5 years back or 6 years back, I do remember, I can see. So what is Swiggy? So why they are populating and what they're doing and all those things. So we don't have any idea those time. But today, right, without Swiggy, right? At least the metropolitan people who are staying in the metropolitan, they are used to be with the Swiggy's and Zomato and all those things, right? So Swiggy started here, and they are also come up with the same model over here, okay? And Paytm, right? So initially Paytm, right? So many advertisement has came, and people are thinking like initially it's a kind of a wallet alone, but after, right? So right now the payment is a kind of a Paytm is a kind of a gateway. So many places, right, you can do with the Paytm gateways, and also Paytm has its own e-commerce store where you can go buy something, and you can transfer your account, and you can transfer some money to your wallet, and all those options they provided. So now most people are using Paytm kind of thing, right? Then Oyo rooms, you guys know, right? So initially people started for renting out small portions in their premises for a short stay kind of thing, right? So they brought a point called a short stay. So instead of why you need to pay for a whole day, right? So like that they given that model, so that's also hit. So everywhere a small hometown also you can see a small premises converted as a Oyo room. So you can find, you can book at a very minimal price, and all those things would be there, right? So that's another hit in that. Then Big Basket, and Grofers also, it's kind of startup which is started Krugram, if I'm not wrong. Then initially they started, I mean, by the time they entered, right, so they have a competitor Big Basket, but still they're growing, and nowadays people are know about it, right? But when compared to Big Basket and Grofers, right, so the Udaan is another guy, or another application which is come into picture. So they are think different, right? So Big Basket is kind of B2C, that means getting product from the business, then they directly giving to the customer. But Udaan is a B2B, that means business from one place to another place. That means manufacture to the I mean retailer or wholesaler to the retailer kind of thing, right? For example, like if you want to go and have a Annachi shop, right? Small Annachi shop in your area, right? You can get a product from Udon, right? So they can give it to a B2B concept kind of thing. They can get it from a wholesaler or a bigger distributors, and they can give it to a retail shop, and then they are providing a credit basis and all those things. They are attracting like anything. So they are also coming to a picture as a one-stop I mean, intermediate, and all those things are happening. Okay. So having said that, all these product, right? It started in a small phase or a smaller a goal or a small thought process or a small solution, all those things. But when the days are passing, right, they keep growing, and they're growing like anything. They are still growing, they will grow like anything. So now Big Basket has a own outlet kind of thing in every apartments, I would say, a mini outlet kind of thing. So some people wants to have some quick things that they can go and get from there, and while they are making them to come to their I mean stall, right, they will ask them to, hey, we have this product as well, we can deliver next day morning before 7 a.m., right? So it's a very attracting to the people. So now they are doing that as well. And also Big Basket is keep basket in every apartment houses individually, so that people are keep seeing every day morning. Once they wake up, they have to see the basket. Before they go to bed, they used to see. So it's a kind of a making a I mean visual presence always to them, right? These are the marketing strategy they are using, and they keep growing. So they are not said, I mean, these are where, so I'm just done with that. So they didn't go with that. So they keep growing. So like that, when I'm talking about the lean startup and minimum viable products, so all these are the great examples of how they started and all those things, right? If we start to talk further, right, we can have many examples like Aether in the electric mobility. You can see the Aether, right? It started in the IIT incubating system, and now Aether own a bigger market, right? So now in electric mobility vehicle, right, even though multiple people are coming, right, so Aether is a kind of a big brand nowadays, right? But this also started very recently, I would say, and they don't have very big facility or big thing, right? So just IIT passed out people are started with the IIT incubating system and all those things. There is a many opportunities around us to do an incubating system, and also all those things over there. The only thing is we need to search it, grab it, utilize it, and you need to spend some time on it, right? So I just want to give one final thing over here. There is a website called Startup India. Okay, if you go to a Startup India, so it's a government organization provided website. So there you can find all the options that you can get for your startup company. Okay, so then I recently heard that July 1st they're gonna accept a online application for startup companies ideas, and based on that application, right, they can provide you a fund. I mean, they can raise a fund out of that idea. Maybe you can get a chance to present it to the many venture capitalists, and you can try to grab that opportunity. Go to that website, try to explore something, and try to understand what is incubating, so what it does, and how I can get it, or what is the benefit out of it. So what are the things being provided by the government, all those things you can very minimal. I wouldn't say very minimal, at least you can get a minimal information from them. So from there you can, once you started opening some gates, right, it will take you to further down, or we can get more insights or deep dive into it, right? You can learn more and you can explore more. So that is based on only your interest, right? So please don't miss it. The 1st July they are accepting, I mean, starting from 1st July they're accepting ideas from the people. Go ideate, go back, think through, ideate, take a problem statement, do a study on it, and come up with your solution. Keep scale your solution, and take a nice document like how I shown, right? So put it bulletins, and put it different imperatives, and fill all those things, and go there, submit your application. A good ideology will immediately get a appreciative amount in terms of lakhs, I would say maybe 3 to 5 lakhs if I'm not wrong. Okay, then followed by, if your idea will come into a concept, then again you will get a fund raising I mean, portals or platforms that you can perform and you can exhibit your concept. So once you get a people, keep grow, learn, earn together, and you can create a healthy business for sure. Okay, as I said, like if you guys want to understand further, maybe if you're I mean, management or planning or some other things, maybe we can meet in some other occasion as well. But if it's not, I mean, even though if it's not happened, that's fine. Anyway, I have provided enough information to you guys, so probably you guys can get information by yourself. Maybe if you need it, maybe you can contact your management, take my details, and you can contact me if you need any help. I'm doing mentorship for many startups. They want to, I would like to do that, so you can contact me anytime. Okay, so going forward, like, I mean, since we almost complete the topic, so I just want to hear or address if you have any questions.
Yeah, thank you, Prabhakar. You have shared so many ideas in this session. We have the question and answer session after the vote of thanks. I would like Professor Sendamari Kannan to give vote of thanks.
Thank you, Professor. Good morning, everyone. I am Professor Sendamari Kannan, and I am here to present vote of thanks for today's webinar. I would like to thank our webinar speaker, Prabharan Ganesan, for visiting and enlightening with us with their knowledge. Today's webinar was full of knowledge and interesting things. It gave deep insights into the topic and also revealed some interesting facts. The point where Prabharan Ganesan was really informative will definitely help us in our studies and future. Once again, I would like to thank Prabharan Ganesan sir for taking out time from their busy schedule and enlightening us with the knowledge. Thank you so much. I would like to thank our principal, Dr. P. Ranjit Kumar for giving permission to organizing this webinar session, inviting Prabharan Ganesan sir conducted. I want to thank students committee who really worked hard to make this event successful. Also, thank you all the students present for here, paying your attention and learning. I would end my speech here. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Professors, students, if you have any questions and if you have any ideas regarding startups and viable products, you may ask now, or you can share in the chat box so I can share to our guest. And don't forget to fill the feedback form which have been shared in the chat box. Prabhakar, I have one question. I think after the completion of diploma, you have started startups with LEDs ideas for the malls and big cinemas like that. Do you have? You can share those ideas, Prabhakar, if you have.
Yeah, so initially after my academic, like even during my academic, I went to some part-time jobs initially, which is non-technical jobs, and later point I realized like, why don't I go with technical base? I'm a kind of a in diploma. I have done my triple E on engineering. I have done my ECE, so I was more interested towards core core industries and all those things. So I just went to a company and I have done my part-time work over there during my final year or last quarter of third year, I would say. So I have created many products during that time. Then after that, I got an opportunity in that company itself with a good pay, but I didn't go with that. So I just started my own company myself. So in 2011 end or 2012, I would say. So initially, even I was facing more failures, I would say. I didn't succeed it in the first attempt, right? So same way, like I had a concept, then I found a fund. I got a fund from people, then I can create a product. Then once I launch it, right, it's got failure, right? So because of the outer cover of the product, or the weight of the product, right? So it got failure. Then I was learned a lesson from there, like before waiting to the final phase, we need to give it to a early stage a demo to a customer or the fund who is going to provide, and all those things. It will get an idea, so that immediately will get a concept from them. Based on that, we can do it further. So that's how I learned lesson from there. Then I can, after that, whichever product I used to do, give a frequent demo to the people. Hey, this is what I'm visualizing, or this is what I'm going to have, or you have any thought process, or you have any comments, or you need any improvisation, you can let me know. So like that, I keep started, and that business model went good. Then I learned more and I earned more. And then after over a period of time, right? So since I started my startup after my immediately after my academic, right? So I was having exposure only to the domestic market, but I was interested to learn the global market. So that is the reason I just hand over that company to my brother. Then I move into a MNC to learn the global presence and all those things. So I'm still learning, but parallelly I'm doing more. Or every year I used to start a new idea and used to start a company. So now many people are surrounded me or around me, right? So the near and dear ones, right? So I'm pushing them or making them to do a business. So I'm entering all those business and I'm keep learning. Okay. So one day, like I felt one day I will feel maybe I would feel like, so these are enough knowledge that I got from here. So I may quit and I can create another platform or another thing very sooner. But I'm keep traveling every day in the both rates, like business and as I said, like I'm more interested to the core, right? So in the sense, like if I want to do a startup, right, there is no limitation that I need to do only in the core, right? I can still explore multiple other stuffs, right? So I'm doing that both parallelly.
Super, Prabhakar. Yeah. Professors, you may have, if you have any doubts or if you have any questions, you can ask now. Thank you, Prabhakar. You have given a wonderful session and you have given a mind-blowing session regarding the startups and the viable products. Thank you a lot. We will plan for the next session. I will speak with my management for the next session and I will convey to you, Prabhakar.
Yeah, if needed, let me know. Other ask him later as well and try to understand whether whatever is given is enough for them or whether they are interested more towards learn something, all those things, right? I will definitely like to help, but otherwise, like if they some people, right, I mean, I have seen, right, in initial call, right, I have seen like more than 70 to 80 participants, then it was ramping down and ramping up. Now I can see like at least a 40 participant, right, at least. Whether they're interested or not, still they are in the call. Thanks for your patience, guys, and we'll see if you get another opportunity you can meet together or talk together. Otherwise, good luck and goodbye to all. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhakar. Thank you. We shall wind up the session, Prabhakar. Thank you a lot.
Yep. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.